Hello and welcome to the 20-minute ghost workout. So happy to have you here. If you have done the 10-minute version, this is basically the same. It's just that each move will be repeated in circuits. The first circuit, of course, is for famous ghosts, both fictional and non-fictional. If they are real, they would be considered non-fictional. And circuit 2 is for house hauntings and jump scares. We will be starting with a military march inspired by King Hamlet from Shakespeare's famous tragedy. The reason we're doing military marches is because King Hamlet died in his armor. I think some plays even have him wearing a sword. So your arms will be out and you just kick up, keeping your leg as straight as you can. It's okay if your leg is not perfectly straight. As you can see, mine aren't even perfectly straight. You can even just lift your knee if that's easier for you, just as long as you keep moving. And in a second, you're going to see me start hopping. Yes, there we go. You don't have to hop with me. I just like to hop because I like how it's good for the metabolism and it burns a few more calories and it's just more fun and interesting. And get ready to stop. There you go. 20-second rest and get ready for side-to-side horse gallops, which are really more like shuffles with horizontal sword slashes. This is inspired by the Headless Horseman of the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So, start off on one side and shuffle, shuffle, and swash. Swash. I was gonna say swipe, and then I was gonna change it to slash, so what came out was swash. So I guess these are swashes now. Swash. So you are swashing the head of the Headless Horseman. So it's just a pumpkin falling to the ground. Personally, I don't want to go around cutting heads. I've always thought that this was a really interesting legend, by the way. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so mysterious and terrifying and fascinating, and wow, who goes around with a pumpkin for a head? Next will be Sailor/Pirate Jig, inspired by the Flying Dutchman, which is actually not just one Dutchman, it is an entire ship of men who died at sea during a storm. So you're going to squat, hop up, or step up if that's more comfortable, and click a heel out. So it's pretty easy, but it's also a great way to burn out the legs, and it's just fun. It feels a little bit like dancing. I don't know about you, but I always do kind of feel like I'm on a ship while I do this. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean version of the Flying Dutchman, but I know that the original legend is about just, I believe, a merchant ship from the East India Trading Company that continues to sail the seas. Tell me which version you prefer. So next will be a thrust and parry. I'm not an expert fencer, but this is just a pretty easy lunge with your arm and your leg, and then an overhead parry, and you'll see how it goes. We'll do the one side now, and then the other side during the second round. I know there are lots of different ways to parry. I like the overhead the best just because I like the arm swing. So the man in gray, if you haven't heard of him, is one of the most famous ghosts, if not the most famous ghost, from the World Theatre at Drury Lane in England, and he's a very gentlemanly ghost. He is said to have a sword at his side, and he's all dressed up in a gray suit, which is why he's called the Man in Gray. Well, yeah, he wears a dress jacket and a cloak or cape and riding boots, plus the sword, so that's why we are fencing. Next will be the down dog with a toe touch, inspired by the Bell Witch who haunted the Bell family in Tennessee starting around 1817. It's said that John Bell's first sighting of her was when she was disguised as a very strange, scary-looking dog, and he tried to shoot at her, and it didn't work. She continued to haunt them for years, and it is said that John Bell's death was caused by her. She also predicted the future and continued tormenting John Bell's children even after he was gone. So she's actually one of the most famous witches in American history. All right, done with that one, and we are starting back at the top with military marches from King Hamlet. I don't know how many Shakespeare fans there are out there. I do like several of his plays myself. I mean, Hamlet is pretty sad and tragic. Oh, but it sure is brilliant. It's brilliantly sad. I guess is how I would describe it. So, a little bit of trivia. Some say that Shakespeare himself played King Hamlet when Hamlet, the play, was originally produced, which is interesting. I hadn't known before researching that he was an actor in addition to a playwright. So next we are going back to those horse gallops with the Headless Horseman. A little bit of trivia about the Headless Horseman. Go. It's said that Irving, the author, based him on a soldier who was decapitated by a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. And then his body was found in Sleepy Hollow. I don't know why that would have led him to choose a pumpkin for his head. Maybe he was just very insecure about not having a head after that and just decided a pumpkin was better than nothing. I mean, I sure understand insecurity. Next up, we have the sailor/pirate jig for the Flying Dutchman. So, a little bit of trivia about the Flying Dutchman, at least the merchant ship version, not the Pirates of the Caribbean version. It's some of the most famous reported sightings of the Flying Dutchman occurred in 1881, 1923, 1939, 1942, and 1959. I think that the one in 1959 is probably the most interesting because it was the captain of a Dutch freighter who says that he saw it, and he said that they nearly collided with it. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to think that it was something other than a ghost ship if you were that close to it and you actually saw it, maybe even saw the ghost. I don't know. Anyway, next we are doing the thrust and parry for the man in gray. Other side this time. If you don't remember which side you did last time, I'll help you. It was the side that you were not doing this time. You're welcome. If it helps you, I usually start in orthodox position because I'm right-handed, and then I go to southpaw, which I don't know that those terms actually apply to fencing, but I know they do to boxing, so that's what I'm going with. A little bit of trivia about the man in gray. It's said that he actually usually appears during the day, not during the night. You usually think of ghosts as a nighttime thing, but he's a daytime ghost. And I guess he actually drifts rather than walks. It's interesting. Next up, we've got the Bell Witch again, doing down dog, toe touches. So, it is said, a bit of trivia about the Bell Witch. It is said that Andrew Jackson actually visited the area that she was said to haunt around Adams, Tennessee, because he was hoping to find her himself. I guess he was interested in ghosts. And also, the Bell Witch is said to have inhabited a cave. I guess she was not the house haunting type of ghost, so she just liked to go and visit houses a lot, or at least the Bell family's house. Alright, next up is the house hauntings circuit. We're starting with fast feet. If you've heard the word poltergeist, it's often used as a synonym for ghost, but it's actually a word that refers to like noise, and especially loud noises, making a racket. And so poltergeists tend to be especially malevolent or annoying ghosts, making a lot of noise and causing a lot of disturbances. So that's why we are doing fast feet here. We are making some noise. If you've ever heard weird footsteps in your home, it could be a poltergeist. And don't worry, maybe the poltergeist is just doing fast feet. You know, ghosts gotta stay in shape too. Done with that one. Next, we've got lunges with pushes, forward lunges, to be specific. Some people report being pushed, especially downstairs, by spirits or ghosts or something else supernatural. So that's what we're doing. We're pushing the fleshies down. How dare they invade our space? Go away, fleshies! Yeah. Here's a different angle for you. If you'll notice, I try to keep my knees perpendicular to the floor, because it's really not good for the knees to let them go over the toes most of the time. I'm not very prone to knee injury, really, but I think that's partially because I try to be careful about this. And done! Next up, moving/shuffling chair. So you're gonna be in chair position, you'll jump forward and then shuffle back. Moving chairs, that's another popular way for ghosts to haunt spaces. I've seen videos that my husband watches on YouTube of supposed supernatural happenings and ghost hauntings where chairs just move out of nowhere. It's definitely freaky. Here it is from another angle. See whether you can get even lower than me. I know that my legs were burning at this point. I don't remember at what point in the day I was doing this exercise, but when I was recording all these workouts, I was usually doing at least 2 or 3 a day. Just a little more, and done. Okay, now we are doing a jump scare. The first jump scare is a squat jump. So you're going to be hiding behind something. Could be a couch, could be a table, could be a bed, whatever. So duck behind it, and then as soon as your prey arrives, you jump up and you go boo! And boo! I hope that you're actually doing that wherever you are. Get in touch with your scary self, and you can do this. It takes a lot of hard work to be a scary ghost, as you can see. Maybe you'll appreciate the ghosts in your own home or wherever else you go next time you are haunted by one, because you'll see. It takes a lot of work. I don't know if ectoplasm has sweat glands. That's an interesting thought. I'm going to be thinking about that for a while. But anyway, if they do, ghosts probably get very sweaty, preparing themselves to scare you and making your life a little more interesting. Next time, just say thank you. Next, we're doing burpees. So this is for the ghosts that hide under the couches and beds. You know the ones that I'm talking about. Go down for stiff arm burpee, come up, and boom. Alright, I actually really like burpees. I used to hate them, but now they're one of my favorites. I don't really know why. But yeah, you don't have to go down into a push-up. I'm not doing that. I have other workouts that are more focused on strength. For the cardio hits, I'm usually more focused on speed and heart rate. But if you want to do the push-ups, I will not blame you. That will just help you hide even deeper under the couch or bed. Alright, back to the top of that circuit, going back to fast feet. Making some noise as a poltergeist. If you have downstairs neighbors or anything like that, just try to do this one as quietly as you can. I know it can be kind of hard, but I'm not advocating for disturbing your neighbors. So just do your best. So poltergeists do tend to be the most violent spirits. Most of the time, more peaceful or just sad spirits are the ones that are called ghosts. Makes me wonder if poltergeists tend to have more tragic or violent death stories, and that's why they end up like that. Or maybe they were just terrible in real life and they want to be terrible in the afterlife too. I don't know. Anyway, now it is time to push the mortals out of your space and push them. Let me hear ya. Go away. You are a great poltergeist. I believe in you. You can do this. You can get rid of the invaders in your space so that you can have it all to yourself. You were there first, probably. So it's yours. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Yes! Now it's time to scare the fleshies that might still be there. With the moving and shuffling chair. Imagine that they're just about to try sitting there, and you jump. You move the chair back and forth so that they can't sit in it. I mean, even if you don't scare them, you'll at the very least annoy them, and that could be enough to get them to go away. You never know. And we do jump forward and shuffle back instead of jumping back, just because I feel like, especially when you're trying to maintain a chair position, it's too easy to maybe trip over your feet. I'm pretty sure that it would happen to me, so that's why we shuffle. Done with that one. Just a couple more moves. Next is squat jumps. Time to get into your jump scares again. Whatever you're hiding behind, make it good. You may be able to squish yourself behind like a wardrobe or an entertainment center or something like that. And boo! And boo! Imagine being a ghost in one of those haunted houses that people pay to go into every year, and it's supposed to be fake, but you're actually a real ghost and you got to be doing this. Or maybe you actually are a real person and you've worked at one of those houses before and you just gotta keep it up, scaring a constant line of people. Again, it takes a lot of work to be a ghost. So hopefully this is changing your perspective a little bit. There must be a reason why ghosts work so hard to be scary. Next up we got burpees. It's the last move of this workout. Yeah! You are scary. I know you are. You're scarier than you even realize. Haunt those people. Haunt them, I say. Don't give up. Don't give up. They're gonna leave you alone soon. This is a successful haunting in the making. And your whole afterlife will be different after this. You're almost there. Almost there. Yes, you did it. You are the best ghost ever. And it is time for a well-deserved cool down. So, you don't have to do the same stretches as me, but I like to try and stay within the theme. So this is a triangle stretch because I was inspired by the shape of the pointer, I believe it's called a planchette, that Ouija boards have for helping, for guiding you to the letters on the Ouija board that you're supposed to see and put together. I read that it's actually heart-shaped, but I look at it and see a triangle, so triangle stretches it is. Alright, now these are tiptoes. It's nice and slow. Right? Stretching the quads. And you are good. That is the end of the 20-minute ghost workout. Congratulations! You are great at haunting things. Alright, like and subscribe. See you next time.